So everybody, they always ask me, Chase, that jersey is amazing. Where can I get one? Well, that's not strictly true. No one's ever asked me that, but today, you're gonna find out. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gents, to another vastly underwhelming Trace Fellow production. My name, as always, is it's Luke. So, if you're anything like me, you will have gone ahead and sorted yourself out with a properly flash looking bicycle that will undoubtedly perform at a much higher level than you are ever personally capable of attaining. Well, my amigos, we all know that is only half of the battle. The other half is dressing it in such a way as to make other cyclists around you assume you cycle professionally, whilst you take every opportunity to mention you're on a recovery ride as you slowly fall to the back of the pack. No, but in all seriousness, today we're going to be diving headfirst into the murky depths of dirt cheap cycle jerseys, because Lord knows you can spend a freaking fortune on these things. But to give you some idea of kind of what you're spending your money on, I've got a pretty premium jersey here from a company called LeCol. I'm sure some of you will be familiar with this brand, but this costs about 130 quid new, so about 165, 170 bucks, there or thereabouts. So let me just throw this on quickly. Yeah, so pretty nice bit of kit, this LeCol jersey here. I'll see if I can show you. It's a medium, if that's of interest to anyone, and it fits really well. It's really high quality. Anyway, this jersey will be going up against this pretty budget eBay jersey that I picked up a couple of years back now. So let me throw this one on and I'll show you what this one looks like. So yeah, I picked up this jersey here from eBay, and it's from a company called Weimostar. Yeah, I'd never heard of it either. And it cost me £12 or 15 bucks, there or thereabouts. One thing quickly worth noting about these cheap Chinese jerseys is that if you're used to buying in EU/US sizing, so I was a medium in the LeCol, you generally go a size bigger. So this is a large. Anyway, let's crack on with the comparison. Right, so the main body of the premium LeCol jersey here consists of this really great quality and really nice feeling fabric, which is 91% polyamide and 9% elastane. A lot of the more premium jerseys will be made of this fabric or a composition very close to it. Really stretchy, conforms really nicely to the body so it doesn't kind of flap around in the wind, and ultimately really comfy to wear straight out of the box, and you kind of forget you're wearing it after a while. Right, so the cheap jersey here, it's a much cheaper construction, obviously. And in fact, the body there, 100% polyester. So this is 100% polyester construction. Much cheaper material, not really very stretchy, and doesn't conform to the body half as well as the LeCol jersey. As a result, if it doesn't fit you perfectly, any loose material will just flap around in the breeze as you're riding along. So the stitching on the LeCol jersey, as you would expect, absolutely primo stitching, really high quality all over the garment. Absolutely no frayed ends after a year or two of use. And the pockets on the back, again, really well constructed. You've got 3, and then you also have an additional 4th pocket here that's kind of waterproof, and you can put your phone in there or whatever to keep it dry when you're out on a ride. Yeah, in general, a really high quality and really well constructed garment. So the stitching on the cheap one here, while not up to the standards of the premium jersey, is actually fine, in my opinion. These cheap jerseys get a lot of hate with regards to the stitching and the construction. But as long as you're not super rough with them and you kind of treat them with a little bit of respect, then they do last. I mean, this one here is over 2 years old and I've got no broken stitching or frayed ends yet. As for the pockets on the back, you've got 3 kind of very basic pockets with an elasticated band at the top. Nothing particularly special, but totally serviceable nonetheless. So the premium LeCol jersey here, really nice elasticated rubber grips on the bottom, great quality as you'd expect. And they also have little rubber grips in the arms. You can see those little rubber nodules to help grip onto your rippling muscles. And yeah, the zip, although it's difficult to show, the zip is also really great quality, which is very important. Okay, so the cheap jersey, decent elasticated rubber grips on the base again, just as good as the premium one, really. But unfortunately, none in the arms here. Totally not an issue though, and they still hold nice and secure on your arms. But the zips on these cheaper jerseys are kind of a weak point. I've had a number of these cheaper jerseys from Weimostar in the past, and on one in particular, the zip did fail after about a year. This one has been fine after 2 years, but if you're rough with them, they do have a tendency to break. So the zips on these cheaper ones, they're just not as bulletproof as the zips on the premium jerseys. Okay, so the first thing to note is that this jersey that I've just demonstrated is very, very typical of the cheaper style jerseys that you find on AliExpress and eBay. I'm talking about the ones that are in the kind of 10 to 15 pound range. And as you can see, I've had quite a few of them over the years. I mean, even this Didu branded one here, you'll see it's got Didu on it. You'll know if you've watched my latest episode on bib shorts here. Bing. Yeah, you'll know that Didu, they seemingly used really high quality materials for their bibs, but on their jerseys, it's 100% polyester, so the same cheap polyester. And they are all 100% polyester, all have the same basic style pockets on the back, all have the same cheaper zips, and all of them seemingly have exactly the same rubber grips around the base. So you could quite easily argue this design and construction is kind of an industry standard in these cheap jerseys. So if you buy one in that kind of 10 to 15 pound price range, you're pretty much guaranteed to get something like I've described here. Okay, so you might be able to tell this premium LeCol jersey here is really, really nice, and it pretty much wipes the floor with the cheaper jerseys. So if you do spend your money on premium jerseys like this, then fair play. It's money pretty well spent, to be honest with you. But I mean, let's face it, not everyone can afford to drop some fat stacks on premium cycle gear. And this eBay jersey here, this is 10 times cheaper than this premium LeCol one. And in a couple of ways, I actually prefer this one here. So much so that I bought 2 other identical ones. So let me explain why I like this jersey here so much. Okay, so why do I love this cheap jersey so much? Well, it's actually been really, really durable for one. So I've had it 2 years and I must have ridden it on hundreds and hundreds of rides since then. And it's, yeah, still going strong, no frayed ends or anything. I love the color, so it kind of goes with my kit. Plus, with these cheaper jerseys, you kind of have loads of different options for unique colorways and unique designs that you don't really see anywhere else. I like the fact that there's only this little tiny bit of branding on it, and I don't have kind of like giant or Castelli emblazoned across my back. And let's face it, I like the fact that it's damn cheap. But there is kind of one drawback with these cheaper style jerseys that I've had to overcome to make them work for me. So let me explain what that is quickly. Okay, so out of the box, these more premium jerseys generally tend to fit a lot better, regardless of your body shape or your body type. The higher quality fabric is really nice and stretchy and forgiving and just conforms to your body really well. I believe it's the elastane mix in the fabric which gives it that elasticity, but either way, these premium jerseys generally tend to fit a lot better kind of out of the box. Conversely, the material on the cheaper jerseys doesn't really stretch or contract as much. So this is what it looks like fresh out of the box. I haven't adjusted this one at all. And a lot of the cheaper jerseys come in this straight cut fashion. So the side of the jersey will be straight cut down from underneath the armpit down to the waist. And the lack of elasticity in the fabric means that, yeah, it doesn't really contract around the waist in the same way that the premium jersey does. If you have a slightly bigger frame than I do, then maybe this won't be an issue for you. But for me, there's quite a lot of loose fabric here around the waist. And if I'm out on the drops, you should be able to see it. It'll kind of bunch up quite a lot because there's quite a lot of loose fabric here. And especially if I have things in my back pockets, then yeah, the jersey will tend to shift around when I'm out on the bike. So not ideal. So now that I'm editing this, I realize you could rightly say just buy a size smaller, but I tend to find that the medium jerseys are too short for my liking, and there's still a regular straight cut down the body, so still come out too baggy around the waist. So to make these jerseys work for me, I've actually had to take in the sides very slightly along this black panel here. It might sound quite complicated, but let me show you what I've done. Okay, so now I've got the jersey on the table here. You should be able to see there's a black band of mesh running down the left and right hand side of the garment. And let me show you what I've done. So I ran a simple straight stitch. So you can see this black line here. From just under the armpit, I ran the stitch down along the side, and then it pops out just a couple of inches above the waistband here. And I did this on both sides. And what I did was I folded the garment along this seam here, laid it down, and then ran the stitch through. And this has taken all of that excess fabric out of the garment and has kind of given it that slim fit cut in around the waist that I was looking for. So let me pop this on now and I'll show you the difference. Okay, so now I have it on. Hopefully you'll be able to see that it just fits a lot better. So there's a lot less loose material around the waist here and the fit is just much better. As I mentioned, this won't be applicable to everyone, but if you have a slim build like me, this might be an adjustment you need to make. If people are interested, I can maybe do a tutorial on how to do this. It only takes about 10-15 minutes with a sewing machine. So yeah, let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll throw something together. But yeah, hopefully you can see it's made a big difference. The fit is now really great because it's kind of custom, I suppose. It's really comfortable, and in my opinion, it looks just as good and performs just as well as the premium jersey. So what should you take away from today's episode? Well, if you spend money on a premium jersey, then it's money pretty well spent, to be honest with you. But the cheaper jerseys will work for you as long as you bear the following things in mind. Number one, if you're kind of used to EU/US sizing, when buying these cheaper jerseys that are in Asian sizing, you might need to go a size bigger than you normally would. Number two, if you have a slim build like me, the jerseys tend to be kind of regular straight cut, so they're not slim fit, so they don't cut in at the waist. So you might need to take them in, as I've demonstrated. And number three, these are durable, but they're not indestructible. So just be a little bit careful with them, especially around the zips, and you should be fine. So yeah, hopefully that can kind of give you some idea of what to look out for when looking to buy these cheaper jerseys on AliExpress and eBay. And again, I hope I've demonstrated that, as with a lot of these cycle products, the cheaper ones, be that bits for your bike or the clothes themselves, they can perform at the same level as expensive branded gear, but often to get them there, you'll need to make a few little adjustments yourself, really. Also, it's probably worth pointing out, because I might get a few comments on it, I always tend to wear overshorts over my bib shorts these days. I started doing it when I was commuting, because walking through a busy office at the end of the day wearing skin tight bib shorts that quite precisely outline certain facets of your male anatomy. Not ideal for a professional working environment. So I kind of started wearing them and I found them really useful, especially on long rides that I tend to do out into the middle of nowhere. Having extra pockets to put your bits in, super useful. So I always wear them nowadays. Anyway, that's it. That's all we've got in today's episode. So subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, if you've got any questions or comments about these cheap jerseys here or about cycle jerseys in general, throw them down in the comments below and I'll try to get back to as many of you as I can. Anyway, that's everything. So I'll see you all in, well, I'll see you all unless you all unsubscribe. Don't do that. I'll see you all in the next episode.